Hi, Alex. Thanks for being with us today.
Hi, Isaiah. Thanks for having me on. I'm very excited to talk to the members of the community and kind of give them some information about this position that I'm in as
Y-
a field application specialist.
Yeah, and congratulations on your transition. As you know, we're opening up enrollment into the association again, so we like to talk to PhDs like you who have transitioned. So you said you're a field application scientist. You've
Yeah.
transitioned now. Are you enjoying your new career?
Oh, I'm loving it. So I just finished my third week of training where I'm following other field application scientists within the company and just kind of watching what they're doing.
Hmm.
I actually got to do my first lunch and learn this past week. And that's where I gave a 10-minute presentation about our piece of equipment or one piece of equipment that we're working with. And then I went into the lab and did a demo of it.
Awesome.
So they jump you in really quickly. So that was just after 2 weeks of watching someone else do the job. And then they said, okay, go ahead and do this demo. And I did it. And we'll see what the next week brings.
That's amazing. Well, congrats again on your
Thank
your
you so much.
success. Yeah, and I just like to talk a little bit about your path to getting here. So you're successful now. You've transitioned, but I know you had some challenges in your job search. So I was hoping you could talk to us a little bit about those challenges, both the technical challenges, resume interviews, etc., but also the mindset challenges, just figuring out the right position, dealing with rejection, uncertainty.
Right. So I think the biggest thing that I had to overcome was this imposter syndrome,
Mm.
because my boss was my graduate advisor was a very big micromanager. So I didn't really have much freedom, and so I didn't really think that I could actually do any of these things that this job required me to do.
Mm.
So it was a lot of growth and personal development and kind of looking in to see if I could do this job. I didn't want to go into academia, but industry is this beast that I had no idea that even existed or how to even implement any of the techniques that CSA actually told us about.
Mm.
So I was fortunate enough at Washington State University that you came and talked to a lot of the graduate students 2, 3 times every semester. And after I heard your first talk, I was hooked. So then I started, I became a member and I started looking at all of the resources, and I realized that everything that CSA has put together is nothing that I would have been able to find on my own. I could have found bits and pieces, but the way that the modules are set up and the very supportive Facebook group were why I succeeded. And I know it was only because of that. So that was one big challenge that I had. So especially in the Facebook group, everybody talks about imposter syndrome and everybody was saying, oh, everybody has it. And so I kind of used that to try and get over that hump. And with the support of the group, I was able to get over that and see how valuable my skills were. So then using the group again, I was able to get my LinkedIn and resume together. And then I just started hitting the informational interviews, which was another challenge that I had no idea even existed. And I was hitting those hard. I was having anywhere from 2 to 6 informational interviews every week. And I got referrals from there, and I ended up having about 5 different on-site interviews, and I got offers from all of them, and none of it would have been possible without CSA. So those were my big challenges, just trying to know how to navigate and actually putting that plan into action.
Wow, you answered a lot of my questions before I even asked them. I only have two more left for you. One, you mentioned the private group. It's hard to communicate to people who are not members that the private group is valuable, how it works, how responsive it is. Can you talk a little bit about it? If you were telling yourself about it before you joined, what would you say?
So, as I mentioned earlier, at Washington State University, we have what's called the institutional membership. So a graduate student has the ability to look at the modules and all of that. But the one thing that they cannot do is be part of this Facebook group. And once I joined and used this Facebook group, I could see my LinkedIn connections going up. My resume got significantly better because I could post in the Facebook group, one bullet point at a time on my resume. And they would say, well, maybe you should change this wording to this. Maybe you should change this wording to this. And I see in your summary you say this, but your other bullet points you don't say this. So they were so responsive. I would usually have responses in less than 10 minutes from people that were on the Facebook group. And what's wonderful is that the Facebook group has people from all walks of this journey. So some people starting out, some people kind of in the middle, and then we have people even on the other end who have transitioned, and even members, executive members of the Cheeky organization helping out here. And they answered any kind of negotiation questions I had, anything about, does this invite on LinkedIn seem valid, or is it just someone trying to spam me? So any range of questions that anyone could run into were answered with this Facebook group. And it's completely invaluable, especially since this is a lifetime membership. If I have any questions later on in my career, I feel comfortable always coming back and looking at the group and seeing what's going on. I definitely will not lose contact with the Cheeky group because it helped me, so I want to help others in the same way that I was helped. And if I can help even more, I'd be so happy to do that.
Thank you, Alex, and that's what you're doing now. I really appreciate it. My last question, very short. Did you have any reservations before joining the full program? And if so, how are they alleviated after you joined?
My biggest reservation was that it was a little bit expensive looking at things from the graduate student perspective, where it's like, well, I have all these things I have to pay for. I have this very low stipend. But I feel that if I wouldn't have made that jump and made it work, I would not be where I am today. I wouldn't have had an offer literally 5 days after them calling my name at graduation. Signed, sealed, delivered. And that was my biggest reservation, just because money is tight, but please, all of those people out there listening, make it work, because it is worth its weight in gold, and even more because it's just a wonderful community to be a part of. And I'm looking forward to going to a lot more Cheeky meetups where I can help others and just see how this organization blooms and hopefully takes over the whole transition industry for PhDs into instead of going into academia.
Thank you so much, Alex. Really appreciate your time, and we look forward to watching your continued career success. Thank you.
Thank you.